Here is the creature for the first time in 8 years. Look at that. Wow. I must say, John really did look after it. Well, I've done 100 miles so far. It's the first day, and it's been an interesting ride already. One thing I can tell you is that this thing is heavy. My God, it's heavy. I just stopped to take the first picture 20 miles into my ride, and I dropped it. Not once, but twice. At a standstill, I dropped it over to the left on a slight, minute little incline, and as I picked it up, it just went a little too far to the right, and it fell over again. So, one lives and learns. I'm really impressed with the range on this thing. I think it's a 6-gallon tank, so it's about 24 liters, and I've done 106 miles already. And you can see 43 miles per gallon, 207 miles is the range, 38 miles an hour is the average speed. Wow, I don't know what that was. That was a hell of a bang. That was what happens when a tire explodes. Holy shit. Did you hear that? Left rear on that 18-wheeler. Holy moly. I just passed him about 20 minutes ago. Anyway, all is well. I'm headed for Tallahassee, and so far so good. It's a great ride. This will be the only time that I'll ever use the word boring, but Floridians, this is a very monotonous country. It's about water and citrus. and I don't have much footage of the road, but I'm hoping to do that with this little camera. But it's an adventure, and I'm on a bike ride. There's nothing better than that. That's my reflection. That's what I look like, short pants and all, because it's 85 degrees. What's that, 50? Just about. So yeah. I'm near Arcadia. I am 4.2 miles from a city called Arcadia. I've stopped just outside Arcadia. Lovely little place. It's like a little free park. Well, it is a park, I guess. And it is beautiful. It's a little bit of cloud, so it's not so hot. It's come down to about 84 degrees, which is about 29. It's clearly a military park. There's a big howitzer cannon over there, which I'll drive past and have a look. But yeah, so far so good. This is what happens when you drop the bike. This one's alright. That one's a little bit loose. That little reflective strip came off, I guess. I'm going to have to apologize to Uncle John for messing up his motorcycle already within 20 miles. I mean, how flipping embarrassing can that be? Anyway, that's the start of the ride. So I did a quick stop because I'm running 38 psi in front and 42 psi in front and 47 psi at the back, which is far too much. So I thought I'll just quickly take a bit of pressure out of the tires, because I've got an instrument that tells me what the tire pressure is. Believe it or not, it actually works when it's turned on. Well, this is day 2. Yesterday was 369 miles, and I wound up here at Alachua, which is about 100 miles south of the border with Georgia. Spent the night at the Holiday Inn, which was actually very nice. I'm trying to get ahead of Hurricane Delta, which is creating havoc. So I'm thinking if I can make it a little inland, because there's mandatory evacuations from Alabama. I was planning to go to Mobile. Can't do that because it's on the coast. So I'll head to Selma, which is about just on 400 miles from here, which is far, but it's exactly 8 o'clock. So I'm hoping I can get out here in the next 2 minutes, and that this mist will burn off, and then we'll be good. So it's a good start to the day, and let's hope that it works out well. I'll speak to you all later. Bye. So this is the Alamo Church. In February of 1836, less than 250 Texians were attacked by over 3,000 Mexicans. And It was one of the biggest tragedies of this place. And it was a pivotal point in the history of Texas because this was all part of Mexico way back then. In actual fact, the border was at the Nueces River, which is about 150 miles north of here. In actual fact, just outside Waco. So it was not the Rio Grande as it is today. That was settled in 1848 because of the wars. But there is a magnificent oak tree right here. And some of them guys were buried here because there were also women and children and a few survivors. So this oak tree has seen a lot of history in its time. Of course, I'm going the wrong direction to walk around, but that's neither here nor there. This is what it looked like from a, I don't know, I suppose this is where they had their stables and where they had their provisions, quarters. It was a real pivotal time in the history because they tried desperately to get help from Austin, which is 80 miles away, but that didn't happen. And the famous names in this area that were killed in the battle was Davy Crockett. We've all heard of Davy Crockett. As a kid I read about Davy Crockett. And the Bowie, Mr. Bowie, I think James Bowie or John Bowie, the one that made the Bowie knife famous. So it's, you won't believe what it's like just on the outside. But in 1836 this was a little missionary church. And clearly a place for them to try and keep. It didn't quite happen that way. And I think there's only 3 survivors of the 256 or whatever it was. This is where they had their well. Today it's a wishing well. So let me walk around a bit more. The Mexican General Santa Anna had to make a political statement, and that was why he attacked this place, because it was part of Mexico, but they'd lost a little war which made it part of Texas. So this is Davy Crockett, one of the most famous characters. And just over there we have James Bowie. And both these guys died here in 1836 at the fight. There were women and children too. Susanna Dickinson was one. She survived. Yeah, it's very much a touristy place. Anyway, forgive the mask, but it's obligatory. So this is the historical route of Lincoln, New Mexico, and this is also the playground of Billy the Kid. For some reason the kid picked this part of the world to make himself famous. And there is a interesting billboard to him here where one can see exactly what they think he looked like. Historical Lincoln in its time, and then the story. Sheriff Pat Garrett's gun, who's supposedly the one that shot him in the back. No, sorry, not in the back, in the heart. So, I'm going to go down that road there to Lincoln. It's probably 15 miles away. Highway 152. I'm about 45 miles from Silver City, and the road's just been closed due to an accident that happened a week ago. And they've decided today's the day to dig the car out of the ditch or wherever it wound up. And the whole reason I've come here is to do this road in the 180, so I'm not going to leave now. I've been here about 15 minutes. I reckon it could take, who knows. So I'm not even going to speculate on how long. But it's going to open up at some stage and I'll go through. And this is going to be a good ride. He was telling me that it's unusually warm weather already. And last year in Thanksgiving, which is in a month from now, they had snow here for 2 days that closed the road down. And so I think it's going to be hot today. Anyway, what an adventure. Well, it's now 11 o'clock. I've been here for 2.5 hours. It's getting busy. About 18 cars have come past. There's 3 of us that are parked here now. So I don't know what's happening. What a fantastic place. Look at that. Amazing. I've been riding through pine forests for about 60 miles now. It's amazing. There is so much of it, and it is so quiet. It really is amazing. I'm near a place called Cloudcroft.